Our topic is cells of the immune system. Cells of the immune system composed of many interdependent cells which protects our body from microbial infection and tumor cells. So there are some cells which protect our body from the microbial infection, nothing but the pathogens, and in our body itself there are tumor inducing cells. That cell's activity can be inhibited by these cells. Okay, the cellular composition of adult human blood is given in the table. So it has three columns: cell type, number of cells per UL, approximate percentage, RBC or red blood cells. So 42 lakhs to 65 lakhs. WBC is divided into agranulocytes and granulocytes. In agranulocytes, lymphocytes 1500 to 4000, 20 to 30%. Monocytes 200 to 950, 2 to 7%. Neutrophils 2000 to 7000, 50 to 70. Basophils, so neutrophils, basophils, eosinophils, platelets or granulocytes. So in that we have seen about the neutrophils. They are 2000 to 7000, 50 to 70%. Basophils 50 to 100, less than 1. Eosinophils 40 to 500, 2 to 5%. Platelets 1,50,000 to 5 lakhs. So from this they can ask the 1 mark question from this. So all the cells are derived from pluripotent hematopoietic stem cells. So these cells, that is RBC or WBC, is originated from the bone marrow. In bone marrow you have hemopoietic cells. That is hemopoiesis takes place. There only the blood cells develop. So each stem cells has the capacity to produce RBC, WBC and platelets. So only the cells can able to recognize the specific and producing the immune response. That cells are called lymphocytes. In WBC there is only one cell, that is there is only cells which can able to produce and act as immune system, that is called lymphocytes. The other types of WBC that you can see, the granulocytes and agranulocytes and other cells, eosinophils, basophils, their role is specific immune responses, antigen presentation and cytokinin production. So here you can see the various types of immune cell, that is immune system, various types of cells of immune system. So you can see here pluripotent cell. So from this stem cell only the WBC or RBC is developing. So you can see the cells which is myoid progenitor. So myoid progenitor, that you can see, and here you can see the lymphoid progenitor, lymphoidal progenitor and myoid progenitor. So this lymphoidal progenitor gives rise to B cells and T cells. They are involving in the formation of that is lymphocytes. Okay, and this gives rise to, that is the hemopoietic cell, pluripotent cell, directly gives rise to granulocytes, that is agranulocytes and granulocytes. From the granulocyte progenitor you can, from this granulocyte progenitor, neutrophils, monocyte and dendritic cell is formed. And this side, that is from myoid progenitor, you can see erythroid progenitor which forms erythrocytes. and this forms, that is again from the myodid progenitor basophils, that is here it is granulocyte, means here it is agranulocytes. So from this basophils is developed, and you can see the platelets is developing from this that is myodid progenitor, and eosinophil is also developed here. So eosinophils also develops here. So these are the types of immune system, that is types of cells in the immune system. And now we will see the lymphocytes. So the lymphocytes in WBC, the lymphocytes occupies 20 to 30%, and this lymphocytes has large nucleus and little cytoplasm. You can see here the lymphocytes, that is with large nucleus. You can see here, no, this portion, this is the lymphoid progenitor. So large nucleus and little cytoplasm was seen here. Okay. And two main types of lymphocytes. So the two main types is B cells and T cells. These are the types of lymphocytes. So they are both are produced from the where, that is T and B cells. They are produced in the bone marrow. So B lymphocytes, nothing but the B cells. They stay in the bone marrow and till the maturity. So the B cells completely matures in the bone marrow. So then they circulate around the body after maturing, that is till the maturity. The B cells will be seen in the bone marrow. After maturity only it got circulated around the body. Some remain in the blood while others accumulate in the lymph nodes and spleen. So this B cells will be seen some in blood and some in the lymph node, spleen, because they are the secondary peripheral lymphoidal, secondary or peripheral lymphoidal organ. So this lympho, that is B cells, some will be seen in the blood and some will be seen in the lymph nodes and the spleen. The T lymphocytes, now we are going to talk about the T lymphocytes. The T lymphocytes leave the bone marrow and mature in the thymus gland. So where this T cells, why the T cells we are saying means to differentiate B cells and T cells. B cells were taken place in the bone marrow. Both are produced in the bone marrow, but B cells are matured in the bone marrow itself. But the T cells will be living the bone marrow before maturity, and it reaches the thymus gland and there the maturity occurs. Okay. So the T cells accumulates in the same areas of the body as the B cells. So where the B cells will be accumulating in the blood, spleen and lymph node. The same places the T cells are also accumulate. So the lymphocytes receive, that is the receptor proteins. So the lymphocytes have receptor proteins on the surface. So on the surface of the lymphocytes you have protein, receptor proteins. So when the receptors on a B cell bind with antigen, so the B cell, the receptors which was joined with the antigen, the B cells become activated and divides rapidly to produce plasma cells. So these plasma cells are nothing but the antibodies. So when the antigen enters into our body on the surface, there the B cells is there, they are joining with the antigen. So what will happen? It has find out the antigen which is not related to our body. It is an foreign particle. So what happens? It got activated and it divides rapidly and produces antibodies. Some B cells do not produce antibodies but become memory cells. So all B cells won't be involving in the producing the antibody. Some may be acting as a memory cells. So they won't produce, these memory cells won't produce antibodies. These cells are responsible for secondary immune response. Secondary immune response means first a person got a disease, first time. that time the antibodies have been created and some of the cells, B cells, has to recognize and remember. So that, remember for future, if a particular same antigen was attacking next time, for that purposes this memory cells are acting. T lymphocytes do not produce antibodies. So B cells only produces antibody, but T cells do not produce antibody. They recognize the antigen presenting cells and destroy them. So there are some cells which can able to present the antigen. So that type of cells has to be destroyed. That work was done by T lymphocytes. The two important types of T cells are helper T cells and killer T cells. These are the two types of T cells. Helper T cells releases a chemical called cytokinin which activates the B cells. So helper T cells, they produces a chemical substance called cytokinin, so which is an antibody to activate, that is B cells. This secretion, this cytokinin secretion is to activate the B cells. Okay. The killer cells move around the body and destroy the cells which are damaged or infected. If any part is damaged or infected, that part will be destroyed by these killer cells. Apart from these cells, neutrophils and monocytes destroy the foreign cells by phagocytosis. Phagocytosis means cell eating. If any damaged part was seen in our body, that can be cleared by eating, cell eating process that was taken place by neutrophils and monocytes. So monocytes, when they mature into large cells, they are called macrophages which perform phagocytosis on any foreign organism. So the monocytes mature, they become larger. So these are called macrophages. So the macrophages function is phagocytosis, where not our body cell, it will going to destroy, it going to eat the foreign organism. Dendritic cells are called so because it covers with the long thin membrane extension that resembles the dendrioids of nerve cells. These cells presents the antigen to T helper cells. 4 types of dendritic cells were known. So they are Langerhans, interstitial cells, myeloid and lymphoidal cells. So the dendritic cells which covers the dendrioic cells, the long one, and it is of 4 types, that is 4 types are known, that is Langerhans, interstitial cells, myeloid and lymphoidal cells. Okay. Hope you understand the topic. If you have any doubts, post your doubts in the comment box. If you want to watch the video in Tamil, I had given the link in the description box. You can go and watch it. Give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.